Hey, Caitlin, good to see you. It's
Hi,
Tyler Marshall, your old
you?
friend. I'm
Nice
good.
to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming to meet me today.
Yeah, of course.
As you know, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about voting. I know you're not very interested in voting. You think your vote doesn't really matter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've never really thought that my opinion counted in very many things, so I don't think this will make much of a difference.
Right. So you have any important issues that are important to you specifically, like?
I mean, I care about like things such as like abortion and like kind of people's like rights in general, but I don't really lean any specific way when it comes to voting. I'd say I'm more of an independent, I guess.
Right, and abortion is often a big issue in political campaigns, and one of the biggest reasons people vote for candidates. So since that's important to you, that might be a good reason for you to go out and look for the candidate that shares your opinion about that. What about like climate change or energy independence or the war in the Middle East? Is any of those important to you?
I mean, not the first two that you said. I guess energy and climate change. I don't really. I mean, it affects me, but not enough for me like to necessarily care about or read about. I don't really read the paper much anyway, or know very many of the public figures' personal opinions about it. I mean, but the war is a huge issue, and I mean, I remember 9/11 back when I was in 7th grade, and I guess that's kind of. I mean, I do care about the war, but again, I feel like there's so much controversy when it comes to it that
but you're saying it doesn't
my
affect you
opinion
directly.
doesn't. I mean, me saying, oh, I think that we should pull out of Iraq, or I think that we should like work more on like the things that are going on with our country. I don't think my personal opinion is going to be like, hey, like, oh my gosh, the world is going to change now. Caitlin thinks.
Well, it couldn't be. You never know until you try, right?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, you don't think it so much directly affects you, and you don't think you can directly affect any particular issue. But what about the economy? Does that affect you anyway? Do you have a job?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I have a job. I've been
So has the economy affected that job?
No, it hasn't affected my personal job, but it has affected my family. I mean, it's been a huge burden on like my family, my close friends' family, and it has definitely, like, I just had to sell my house like back home.
Really?
So it's been, I mean, yeah, it's been a huge conflict, and I know that President Obama has been doing a lot recently. I don't know particulars, just
right. Well, just to let you know, he's thinking about continuing the Bush tax cuts for the rich, while they're also talking about raising taxes for the rest of us.
Okay.
So that would directly affect you, and you could have a say in whether or not that happens if you were to vote. In fact, the U.S. Census Bureau says that 58.5% of people 18 to 24 are registered to vote, only 58.5%. And of that 58.5%, about 51.5% didn't vote. So really less than a quarter of us, at least, are voting. So really you're misrepresented, you're underrepresented as of right now. So your vote would count 4 times more than you might have thought. Count for 4 people. And also the Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance says that the U.S. population is about 304 million. Voting age, people of voting age, out of that is about 225 million. And in 2010, this most recent election, about 40% voted, down 20% from 60% 2 years ago. So there would be, there's much more value for your vote when less people are voting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so can we come sort of any agreement that maybe your vote does count, that your opinion does matter?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that I'll need to look into more of the important, relevant topics that are going on today, so I can learn for the next election, which is in 2 years, 2012. So I'd have to, I mean, as of right now, I don't even know who's planning on running against Obama.
Right.
So
well, you got plenty of time to
that'd
research
probably be a good idea, a good place to start.
And it'd be good for you to get interested in that, because because if you don't exercise your rights, you know, you might lose your chance to change things while you can.
And are votes like ever like close enough?
Absolutely,
to, like,
yeah. You know, think about 2000 with Al Gore and Bush, where
right.
Al Gore actually got more votes, and it's about the Electoral College.
Right.
Now, a lot of people argue that makes it seem like your individual vote doesn't matter, but if you look at the Electoral Colleges, they vote based on popular vote in their district.
Okay.
So it's all divvied up in different ways, but based on where you live and who they favor usually is who wins the Electoral College. But they've historically been close many times. It could be a matter of a couple hundred votes, like in Florida in 2000.
Do you think though, if my if I'm like torn between two like different like parties or two different candidates, I should not vote, or should I talk to a few people to see what their opinions are? Or
I mean, I always think it's better to go out there and you know give your opinion and vote, because if you don't, somebody else who doesn't share your opinion is going to vote, and maybe you need to cancel them out, or you need to cancel out your parents' vote if you don't agree with them. That kind of thing is an incentive. Plus, you get a sticker that says I voted. That's pretty fashionable.
True, definitely.
And plus, you know, you pay your taxes too, just like everyone else. And so if you vote in the government, you can tell them where to spend that money, and they won't just waste all your money, hard-earned money that you give to them every year.
That makes sense, though.
Well, I'm glad we could come to a little bit of agreement anyways.
I'll
Do you think
definitely.
you're going to try to look up some issues? And
I'll take, I mean, especially now with the economy, I'll look at more statistics and just like what's been going on. I know that tons of people have been losing their jobs, and just the, like everything, stock exchange and everything. So I think it's also just for myself, I should learn and start to like read the paper a little bit more. I know that for a class I had last semester, I had to read the paper, and I was a little bit more up to date with my current events, and it was actually, I seemed more knowledgeable when it came to talking to groups of people, because I mean,
that's good.
The news always comes up regardless of who you're talking to, what's going on, and it's just, I think, a good thing to, I mean, and Obama's always in the paper for doing things, the government, like the Republican Party, it's always controversies, and I should definitely, I think, be able to have an input and put my 2 cents in.
That's great.
So.
And you know, like I said, you know, people our age are underrepresented, so it'd be great if you got involved and represented our generation better, so that stigma about us being lazy and not caring would go away.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right. Well, I'm glad we could come to a little bit of agreement, Caitlin.
Yeah,
it's good to see you. Thanks for coming to sit down with me.
Well.
Is there anything else I could answer for you before we go?
No, I think I'm okay.
All right, great.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
All right.